Hi, I'm Dave Harrison, and I'm working with the students in the Legal Aid and Defender program at the University of Colorado. We're defending people, primarily homeless people, well, only homeless people, who have been charged with violating the City of Boulder's camping on property without consent ordinance.
Now, as a defense attorney, I mean, part of what you're going to hear from Ann Rohn, and I agree with pretty strongly, is that what you're also trying to do is identify people who have biases. Biases that will not permit the juror to even listen to what you got to say. I mean, there's no sense in arguing to someone and trying to convince them of something if they're like, well, you can convince me of those 5 things, and you know what? I still think you're guilty.
The reason why we're representing people charged with that and challenging the constitutionality of that ordinance is because we believe that it singles out homeless people, is really just an attempt to try to get homeless people out of Boulder and to get them to go somewhere else. We think that's unfair. In many of the circumstances, when the shelter isn't open and the alternative shelter isn't open, they have no other alternative but to sleep outside. The city's ordinance would allow them to sleep in just their clothing, but we feel like they should be allowed to protect themselves from the elements and use a sleeping bag or a blanket.
You see how you can start to layer stuff? So you start with something bigger and then start to layer things that are going to be harder for folks.
So I'm pulling these people.
You're pulling people in, yeah. You want to go?
Yeah.